Today in class, we're going to be talking about color in terms of costuming for the stage. So, in order to do that, we need to understand some basic color theory to costume correctly. So, let's take a look first at why we use colors. So, color can make clothes seem warm or cool, bright or drab, and it can create illusions. So it can help a shorter person look taller, or a taller person look shorter, or larger, or smaller. And it can also um, emphasize or play down features. So we can use color to enhance the things about a character or an actor that we like, and shrink down things that we don't particularly like. So, when we talk about color in apparel, we understand that every year different colors become more fashionable. And the fashion industry wants to do that because they want to sell clothes. So, they give colors new names and new color combinations in order to get you to buy more things. So, it's important sometimes to know history of colors and when colors were very popular if you're doing a play that isn't involves a different time period. So let's start with talking about the symbolism of color. If you are deciding what kind of color you want to put a character in a play, a lot of times we want to consider color in order to send a message to the audience about an emotion about that character, how that character should make us feel. So when we talk about color theory in costume design, we talk about how each of the colors have us feel a certain way. So let's talk about red. So, red typically is a very vibrant color on stage, and therefore we use red for characters that are dangerous, angry, passionate, even sentimental. Although that's a little bit, we think of that, but that is more as blue. But this is like a character that has strong feelings, exciting, aggressive, someone who we really want to stand out because on stage, red is a very intense color, and our eyes typically go to it unless you're using a darker hue or something along those lines. Next color, orange. Orange is another color that can really stand out on a stage, but it's also a color that has a difficult time um, looking good with other colors in the background. So if you're using orange as a character choice, you have to make sure that you have a fairly neutral background that you put that character in. Characters who wear orange are typically lively, cheerful, energetic, hopeful, hospitable. These characters, the ones that are, bright and cheerful and things like that, are the ones that we should maybe consider in orange. Then there's yellow. Yellow is a color that you want to be careful with because yellow doesn't look great on a lot of skin tones. So, very similar to orange is a person wearing yellow is bright or sunny or cheerful, prosperous, because that color gold can be included in there. But also, yellow is considered cowardly, or that you're hiding something. If you refer to someone as a yellow belly, it means that they're essentially a coward. So we could give information like that to the audience. Green. So, depending on the hue and the darkness, the shade of the green that you're using, it can be either bright or vibrant, or it can be more restful and neutral colored. So, green is considered usually a calm, fresh, cool, pleasant color on stage. Some of these colors names go really well with personality types. Another very restful color on the stage is blue, that you can have. And all of the colors associated and the ideas associated with blue are like peaceful and calm and restful. But then there's also sad and depressed, and blue tends to be a more formal color. So you think about character types and what you want to express about that character. Then there is purple. Now, for many, many years, purple was considered the color of royalty because purple dye was very difficult to obtain. So the very first color combination for royal people was violet or purple. So you think of someone who's powerful and rich and dramatic, um, wise and passionate, mysterious. That violet purple color is really good for that. All right, so now we're into white. Everybody knows that white is the color of innocence. It is difficult to carry off on stage because the lights hit it and it makes that person glow. But if you want to give that glowing sort of feeling to a person, you can dress them in white. Youthful, faithful, peaceful, pure, all of those ideas also associated with white. Then there's black. So the color black is sucks the color in on the stage, and especially if you're working on a stage like East Campus Theater or West Campus Theater, where the curtains are also black, you have to be careful that that character doesn't just disappear in the background. But black is a mysterious color, usually sad because it's associated with mourning, silent because it can disappear in the background, sophisticated, and dignified, though, also, but also associated with evil characters. If you combine black and red with a character, now you're talking maybe along the lines of an evil character. Then there is gray. Gray, of course, is a neutral color. When we put people in gray, we're usually talking about maybe a more modest type person, maybe sad, potentially old. Brown is very similar as far as the modest. It also, we usually, when we're doing period plays, the colors of the peasants are gray and tan, brown typically, because they can't afford dye. So keeping that in mind for that modest idea. All right, so terms. I have talked about hue. Hue is the name given to the color. Value is the lightness or darkness. Tint is how light a color is versus how shaded a color is. That's the darkness of a color. So red and white together make pink, red and black together make burgundy. And so it is a different tint or a different shade, depending on whether you're going lighter or darker in color theory. Then there is intensity. So intensity is the brightness or dullness of the color. And when I was talking about doing period plays, typically when you are doing period plays, which are set anytime in a historical time period, we usually have dull, faded colors with low intensity for characters that are less wealthy and bright colors for characters that are a little bit more wealthy. Okay, more color terms. Neutrals. Black, white, beige, brown, and even denim, like blue jeans, are considered neutrals in apparel, meaning you can wear them with a lot of different colors and they still work. So neutral, sort of fading into the background. Let's talk about the color wheel. You've probably learned all about the primary colors, red, yellow, and blue, ever since you were kids. No color combination can create these colors. They are primary because they are the first colors. Our secondary colors, which are green, orange, and violet, they are halfway between the primary colors, and you can create them by mixing the two primary colors. Like red and yellow create orange, yellow and blue create green, and blue and red create violet. Then there are the tertiary colors. So these go in between the primary and secondary colors, and if you mix, for example, red and orange together, you get red-orange. If you mix orange and yellow together, you get orange-yellow. So you get the idea that all of those colors combine to create the color wheel. Our warm colors include anything from red to yellow-green. They appear to advance, which means that they make the body look bigger. So if you are dressing someone who is a very small character or a very small actor that you want to appear larger on stage or to stand out more on stage, dressing them in warm colors is a good idea. Also, if you have a character that you want to kind of show as being very lively and outgoing, warm colors are the way to go. Cool colors, on the other hand, are on the opposite side of the wheel, and they appear to recede, so they make the body look smaller. So anything from green to violet red are colors that kind of help shrink the size of a character. So it is more a restful or a quiet color. Usually you see a lot of plus sizes using cool colors because it makes people wearing them look a little bit smaller and stand out less. Um, and it gives like more of a calming feel to the characters on the stage. All right, so next we're going to talk about color notes, which is how you combine colors together to create a feeling. So first, monochromatic is when you use different intensity, shades, and tints of a single color. If you decide to dress a character monochromatically, it means that you're using different tints and shades and intensities of blue or blue violet. They are restful, and then you can also add neutrals to it for a little bit of contrast. So this color combination, blue violet, and you put that together with maybe some tan, like a neutral color, you can use that to kind of create the contrast. So these are examples of monochromatic dressing. You will notice that on the left there, an entirely gray outfit. We have an entirely blue outfit, an entirely pink or magenta kind of outfit, including white as a contrast color. Another type of color combination are called analogous color combinations. Analogous means that they are the three colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. Analogous colors, if you see them used in fashion, you can see that they kind of blend fairly well together. If you use, however, red, orange, and yellow together, it can create quite an almost overpowering vibrant look. If you use the cool analogous colors together, it is definitely maybe a little bit more pleasing to the eye. Complementary colors. Complementary colors are opposite each other on the color wheel. So red and green are complementary, and yellow and violet are complementary. Blue is yellow and orange. We can see yellow's complementary color is blue and red and purple. So the complementary colors you can get by mixing two primary colors. Okay. So when we look at complementary colors, these are colors that typically you'll see on professional sports teams because they work well together. They contrast, they present a contrast and sort of stand out to each other. Split complementary colors are colors where you have three colors that combine one color with the two colors on either side of its complement. So if you look at the color wheel, you draw a line straight across like with yellow, and you look to the immediate right and left of the complementary color. So split complementary color of yellow is blue violet and violet red. Let's kind of see what that looks like in the fashion world. So split complementary colors right here, if you take a look at them combined together, we have blue, kind of a yellow red, and a red together working fairly well. Split complementary colors. Okay, a triad is where you use colors that are equidistantly apart on the color wheel. So if you can take a look at this color wheel, you will see that yellow, green, red, orange, and blue, violet are triad colors. They're equally separated from each other. So let's see that in action. Superman, yellow, red, and blue. We get that triad working together. Or we have purple, and we have this kind of like neutral color with red, triad color working together. Okay, accented neutral is when you combine black, white, and gray with shades of brown and a bright color to make it stand out. We see this a lot with like black, white, and red, like you see in like Dr. Seuss character, The Cat in the Hat, or you can see on our lovely lady here up to the right. Okay, so using color in apparel. Understanding color brings you new fashion and lifestyles ideas. So for example, white is a popular color in fashion because it's light and neutral and it goes with any color. It is considered a summer color, so it's a good choice if you have characters in the summer. People say you should always have a splash of white in your costuming, but you don't want to use it too much on the stage, again, because it reflects the light and kind of pushes the light towards you. Clothing that is all white in color, you can see really makes an interesting statement. Black is the opposite. So it's always a color choice in fashion. It's always stylish It's good for bottoms, and you can usually match it as opposite of white. So let's take a look at that. All black costuming, you can see the very different feeling that you get from that. If you're looking to go super vibrant, red is the most expressive color used in fashion. So, because it is the most visible and lively, it'll really make someone stand out on stage. And it's often associated with love and passion. So, a lot of times we see passionate characters or loving characters wearing those combinations of red on the stage. Yellow creates attention and excitement, often associated with joy and optimism. Our yellow combinations, you can see that that would really make someone stand out. Whereas opposite blue, most people like blue. Blue is the favorite color of, like the most popular favorite color of people in the world, but definitely in the United States. Um, so you want to think about dressing people in blue. You will get a very pleasing, restful look to the eye on the stage. Pink, it is also a very popular color, but it is definitely not necessarily this says soothing and pleasant to the eyes. Not always. It depends on the vibrance of that pink. So let's take a look at those together as we see that if you're dressing all in one thing. Brown, on the other hand, tends to be a little bit more casual and informal. Like I said, in period costuming, you could consider brown as being maybe a less wealthy character choice. However, if you use the right kind of brown, you can definitely make someone look sophisticated as well. All right, I want you to start thinking about colors for your characters and how you're going to costume them and what exactly you want to say about those characters with the colors that you're choosing.